Kylie and I had to go through very like adult things at a really young age. And it is very lonely. Like I've had dark nights where I've been in kind of random cities and just hysterically crying myself to sleep because I hadn't been home in 3 months and I've been pretty much alone the entire time.
You're very young. You're traveling around alone.
Kendall Jenner just dropped bombs about her mental health, childhood fame, and the loneliness of modeling, from crying herself to sleep in hotel rooms to her secret phone addiction. Here are the most raw moments from a chat with Emma Chamberlain. Stay tuned, this gets deep. Welcome to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe. It really helps us out.
I'm on a job and something really, crazy happens at home that I would love to be there for, and I'm being told I can't be, and like, just there's been a lot of definite moments where I'm like, what is going on? Like, is this all worth it? And people also in the industry can be really like tough or blunt or brutal. And so I think there's those types of things for sure.
I think a lot of people, myself included, would have assumed like, oh, this is probably the confidence boost of a lifetime. Like, this being your career path or whatever, being able to do that. But then I think the truth of the matter is it's like, you're in this sort of business of just looking a certain way in a way. And it's like, in a lot of ways, I think, you do have to figure out how to put your worth elsewhere. Yeah. And I don't know how in the world a young woman could possibly manage that. Yeah,
I think that it also is a lot of like, I think that it's a lot of having like great people around you, a great support system, and great family, great friends. And again, for anyone who would ever want to do it, I think is literally having a great relationship with yourself, enough to be able to go home at the end of the night and still like look yourself in the mirror and be happy and love yourself. I think that that's the biggest thing.
Kendall has been in the public eye since she was 10 years old, which is something that gives me the chills to think about. I can't imagine what that experience was like for her.
I grew with social media as well as growing with like the fame, I guess, but definitely so many challenges. Definitely. I also think it made me grow up a little faster, maybe. There was like a level of maturity that I found. I was always a relatively, I think, mature kid, but I think there was a level of maturity that also had to grow really quickly. Like I was working at a really young age. I was traveling alone at a pretty young age. Traveling the world, not alone. I was with, obviously my agent, who's also my really good friend, but, without my parents, without my family, like, and all those things. So a little bit of early growth as well. And I don't know, I'm grateful for my experience, I have to say, because I also know that there are people that might have it, that it might be, really tough for them. And especially like in the mental health space of it all. I think that I've obviously had my moments even as a kid, and I think Kylie and I had to go through like very like adult things at a really young age. And I don't know, like a lot of internet hate at a really young age, which I feel like a lot of us have experienced. Messages for me, like I think I have a lot of work stuff, but I'm also like, my friends chatting and group chats and the whole thing. And so I'm silencing everything. I need to start doing Do Not Disturb. I haven't gotten there yet.
Whoa, I've been on Do Not Disturb for 4 years.
No, I know. I haven't done that yet, and I need to get into it. I think it would be good for me because I feel like I like having 0 messages.
Oh, same.
Are you that girl?
Yes.
Okay. I like having 0 messages, so I feel like I need to answer everybody.
Yeah.
But why do we feel obligated? That's not normal to have for someone to have access to you 24/7.
I just got a second phone.
Okay.
So I have one phone that has like all social media on it. And also just like any app I don't want on my phone. Like it has Postmates on it. It has DoorDash. It has every social media app. It has YouTube. It has all the sort of entertainment. It has like, the Netflix, the Hulu, the Max. It has all, it's basically, I've named it, because you can name each phone, each device, the bad phone.
Okay.
And then I have the good phone, which I bring around with me every day, and it has like, all the stuff I need for work on it.
Wait, did you come up with this, or did someone like give you this advice?
This totally exists somewhere. However, I did ultimately come up with it. I
like this idea.
It's completely excessive in the sense that now I have 2 phones, ultimately, which is wild, but
a little annoying.
It's totally annoying, but
I like this idea.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's literally, I've not been on Instagram like doom scrolling in
Well, it becomes
it
becomes an addiction, no? Like
I was fully addicted. That's why I did this.
That's something that I practice a lot, is like when I feel myself, like I go to grab my phone and I'm like, I don't need to do this. I'm like, I'm with my friends, or I'm like watching this game, or like, why am I craving this right now? So then I just put it back down.
I was so bad about it that, like, to me, also too, I almost had this like anxious, like obsessive sort of trait about it, where I'd be like, I need to check to make sure everything's okay.
Yeah.
This is my job. I have to check.
Yeah.
And it's like, if something's going wrong,
You're gonna find out.
I'm gonna find out.
Yeah.
So I need to let this control go. And that's been the hardest thing about it. Like, obviously, you know, I like to see what people are up to, and I get like super, you know, everybody has their own like stalking journey, like whatever. It's like you start on the explore page, and next thing you know, you're on like your middle school best friends page, and it's
I know someone who is pretty well known and doesn't have social media at all, and I asked her, I was like, or someone else asked her, I was in the room, they were like, wait, what? You don't have social media? Like, how do you know like the news? Like, how do you know what's going on? And she's like, if it's big enough, I'll hear about it. Like, I don't need social media to know what's going on. So I do kind of agree that it's kind of a silly excuse to be like, I need to know what's going on. Like, you don't need to know, because you will find out.
You will find out.
But I also, I think I sometimes almost, it's my messages that overwhelm me more than social media sometimes. You have to have such a strong relationship with yourself to be able to go into it, because it can be cutthroat, and it can be like, you are sometimes like, oh my God, am I not, you know, enough for this job or whatever. So there are those moments, or, you know, people also in the industry can be really like tough or blunt or brutal. And so I think there's those types of things for sure. But again, I'm so grateful. I've had like a really beautiful experience, and again, came with some of its challenges as well.
I think a lot of people, myself included, would have assumed like, oh, this is probably the confidence boost of a lifetime. Like, you know, this being your career path or whatever, being able to do that. But then I think the truth of the matter is, it's like, you're in this sort of business of just looking a certain way in a way. And it's like, in a lot of ways, I think, you know, you do have to figure out how to put your worth elsewhere.
Yeah.
And I don't know how in the world a young woman
girl,
could possibly manage that.
Yeah, I think that it also is a lot of like, I think that it's a lot of having like great people around you, a great support system, and great family, great friends. And again, for anyone who would ever want to do it, I think is literally having a great relationship with yourself, enough to be able to go home at the end of the night and still like look yourself in the mirror and be happy and love yourself. I think that that's the biggest thing. And
it's also lonely. I've heard through the grapevine about, you know, like,
I also have had, you know, my own set of challenges, and whether that be, you know, whether it's overworked or whether it's not getting a job that I would have really loved to get. I think that something that is to be said about anyone who would want to get into it, or that has any idea of it is a lot of like self-love, like a big self-love journey.
That's what I was going to ask about.
Yeah, it's like, it's very, I'm a water sign, so, and water naturally is a cleanser. So like, I believe in like cleansing my body any way I can. So if I'm like overwhelmed or I'm out, like I want to go stand in a shower, if that's my closest form to water.
Interesting.
I want to go like cleanse my body, cleanse my soul, like even in a bathtub, like a bath is really good. Put my heart underwater and like just like chill. Those are like really good tactics for me to like soften myself and like release. But like if I'm away for a few weeks and I'm like doing the shower thing, but then like eventually I'm able to have some free time, like I want to run to a beach, I want to run to a lake, like I want to just like submerge myself in water. So that's been like a cleansing journey that I've been on. But I mean, I have so many things. I think that also like turning off my mind as best as I can. So like putting my phone down is like a big thing, or going for a walk. Or
how do you not obsess over the phone? Like, do you have
I don't know, man. Like I'm not perfect, and I fall victim to it all the time.
Well, so I just had to take like an extreme measure, which I'll even tell you more about. I was gonna say, I want to know, because I have to like, it's like a full like experience, but it's very uncomfortable sort of trying to navigate building friendships that are genuine and positive, and where you can truly trust, you know, the people that you're around. And I mean, no friend is perfect either, right? Yeah. So it's like also balancing this sort of complex situation where it's like, not every friend is perfect, but also I need to have maybe stricter boundaries in some ways, because there's a lot of people that might be trying to potentially take advantage of me.
Protecting your energy.
Totally.
Like, I think that's the most important part of it. I also think we live in a world, like, you know, I think evil eye is a real thing. So we live in a world where, like, you expose yourself to so much evil eye, and that can become really heavy.
Yeah.
And people, aka the world, or even people closer than you think, might be wishing poorly on you, and without themselves even knowing it. I think, like, even subconsciously, people can wish poorly on you.
Yeah.
Energetically, people can wish poorly on you. So anything that's important to you, I believe in, like, keeping to yourself. And, like,
I agree.
A job that you might want, you don't need to tell everybody that you're going for this job, because there might be people closer than you think, like, trying to put it down or, like, put bad vibes into it. Again, they could be doing it subconsciously. So I think that's a big thing for me, is, like, protecting my energy, protecting my surroundings, protecting information, protecting my life, like
keeping it sacred.
Totally.
What is something that you've worked on with yourself over the last few years that has, like, paid dividends? Like what's, like, work on yourself that's been the most impactful? Like a challenge that you've overcome that's been like, holy shit, that changed the game for me.
I think so much of it is, like, life experience, like learning lessons, right? Like, just learning experiences, going through shit, coming out the other side, knowing what worked for you, knowing what didn't. But I think that the biggest thing for me, I'm relatively new to, like, the therapy experience, but I started, like, 2 years ago, and I think my therapy journey has been really nice for me. I consider myself a really self-aware person. I think it's only made me more self-aware.
That's unbelievable.
To be able to talk through problems with someone else and be able to, like, maybe see them at face value, or, like, digest why I might do something a certain way, or why I might handle a situation a certain way. It's only made me more self-aware. So I'd say, like, probably my therapy journey is, like, the most
That's a great
transformative thing in the last 2 years.
Smash like and subscribe. Comment below. Would you trade fame for privacy?